Hello and welcome to this video on human resources. This is the second video on human resources, and in this video we're going to look at strategies the human resource department might use to increase productivity and retention and reduce labour turnover and absenteeism. And there are 4 strategies that we need to be able to describe and be aware of: financial rewards, employee share ownership, consultation strategies, and empowerment strategies. Let's kick off with financial rewards. So financial rewards are the methods that a business might use to reward the workforce and influence their behaviors through money, have a monetary value. And these are the 5 that we need to be aware of. So let's go through these 5 in turn. Okay, so let's start to go through these methods. Number 1 is piece rate, and that is when a payment to an employee is based on the number of items produced by an employee. So for each item they produced, they paid a certain amount, and that dictates their financial reward. So clearly there's an incentive to produce more, and they will get paid more overall. The second is commission, and that is not based on producing a unit, but actually selling a unit. So for example, an estate agent, if they sell a house, then they would get paid an amount, and that's called commission. So the key is it's when you sell a unit, not when you produce a unit. The next is a bonus, and that is normally a one-off payment to an employee for meeting a particular target. So it might be an individual target or a team target, or perhaps if the company meets its target, then people will get paid a bonus amount of money. The fourth is profit share, and that is when a proportion of employee pay is linked to the profits of the company. So the profits of the company go up, then their pay would go up in line with that. The profits of the company go down, and the pay goes down. And the last one is performance-related pay, and that's when an employee receives a bonus or some payment based on the performance of that employee against a pre-agreed criteria. So it might be, if we gain this amount of market share as a business, then within your little field of expertise, then you will receive a bonus for that. Now the key is whether we can link these methods of motivation to our 4 ways in which the HR department manage staff performance. So we need to make sure we're confident that we can explain the link between commission and labour turnover, or the link between profit share and absenteeism. So for example, profit shares, the company is incentivizing employees to turn up to work to contribute to the profits of the company so that they will earn more money. This in turn should reduce the level of unauthorized absenteeism. Okay, so we need to be able to link these items on the left with these items on the right. You might want to pause the video and have a quick go for each one that you can make the link between each. Okay, our second strategy for motivating or addressing those measures of staff performance is employee share ownership. And this is when the business gives employees shares or the option to buy shares in the company, so a share of the ownership in the company. So the employee directly benefits from the success of the company through 2 main ways. Firstly, if the business generates a profit and decides to pay out a dividend as a shareholder, you receive the dividend, which is a share of the profits. And also the share itself has a value. The share of the business has a value, and if the share value increases, then that is good for the employee. They have an asset that is worth more. A business that we might have heard of that uses this approach would be this one here. They have a famous relationship with their staff where they allow them to have options or some part of ownership of the company. And again, we need to be able to link this to our measures of labour workforce performance. So if we give employees shares, what would be the impact between that on labour productivity? Can we explain that? What would be the link between that and labour retention? Okay, so employees are incentivized to maximize the long-term value of the company and its shares. So this should retain experienced staff, stop those guys who have more than a year's experience leaving. So this should improve labour retention. Okay, our third one is consultation strategies. And this is when the business seeks the thoughts and opinions of employees prior to making decisions. So involving employees in decision making should increase their feeling of worth and involvement. So here we're thinking about Maslow, Hertzberg. It should be easier to implement change as a result because staff feel involved in the decision-making process. And often the ones that have valuable input are the ones that are working within the functions and understand the key issues. So this is linking closely with Kaizen. Again, though, we have to make the link between this and our measures of workforce performance. So what is the link between introducing a consultation strategy and labour turnover? Why might a successful consultation strategy reduce absenteeism? What might a successful consultation strategy have on labour productivity? Okay, our fourth strategy that the HR department might use is empowerment. So this is delegating greater responsibility to employees, allowing them to use their abilities and to have a greater say in the decision-making process. How might you do it? Well, maybe by using a matrix structure in terms of our organizational hierarchy, maybe encouraging employee groups to work together, having open two-way communication, and allowing staff to have meetings and forums where they can discuss what's going on and have a greater say in the decision-making process. Again, we need to be able to make the link between empowerment, delegating greater responsibility to employees, and how that might impact on labour turnover or labour retention or absenteeism or labour productivity. So again, you might want to pause the video and just make sure in your head you can construct a line of analysis that links these two things together. Okay, so in this video, we've looked at strategies the HR department can use to increase productivity and retention and potentially reduce labour turnover and absenteeism. We should have a good understanding of these four and be able to link them to the four measures of workforce performance. That's it. Have a good day. Thank you very much.